All right, guys, welcome back to J-Fabe Wrestling. And I know it's been a while. I'm going to try and actually finish my rebooking of every WrestleMania. And also, as we get into SummerSlam, I'm going to do a few more SummerSlams in August. But, for now, I thought, let me make a quick video about Money in the Bank. Let's rebook every winner and how they cash in. We were just in Money in the Bank season. We had a great pay-per-view last week, I believe. So, and looking at the Money in the Bank history, there's definitely some great moments. Of course, the classic Edge winning at New Year's Revolution, cashing in on John Cena. And we also had, some duds like, Nikki ASH, or even the recent women winners, they were cashing in right away. There's no build to their storyline or it didn't make sense. And also we have the classic Jack Swagger, Damian Sandow, So, let's get into it, guys. Let's do it. Let's start with 2005, the classic WrestleMania 21. Edge wins. And we do the same thing. He cashes in New Year's Revolution 2006 on John Cena. My only difference is Edge holds on until WrestleMania 22. And that's when he can drop it to John Cena. All right. So 2006, RVD. He wins at WrestleMania 22. Let's have the same thing. ECW One Night Stand 2006. Cashes in on John Cena. Wins, and the only difference I would have is rather than Paul Heyman making the count, I would actually have Paul Heyman bring another referee, and the referee will make the count. 2007, Mr. Kennedy wins at WrestleMania 23. We're going to keep it the same. Of course, hindsight being 2020, they thought he was going to be out a year, so they had him drop it to Edge. And, not... because I know this knowledge, I'll actually keep it on them. And so Undertaker and Batista, I'd actually have Batista regain the title at Backlash, and he's kind of holding it, and he's facing Kane at Great American Bash 2007. After a hard-fought match, Mr. Kennedy comes in, hits Batista with the briefcase, and hits him a couple times with the mic, and... he's the new champion, and he replaces Great Khali, in the SummerSlam match and Unforgiven matches. So I think, obviously Kennedy deserved it at the time, and it saves us from the Great Khali Batista feud, which was absolutely horrible. And on hindsight, he also doesn't injure John Cena because he stays on SmackDown. So that's pretty interesting. 2008, I would actually have Shelton Benjamin win. To be honest, he was probably the MVP for most of these matches, and I think he definitely deserved at least one win, and I definitely thought, he was ready. He had the gold standard gimmick in 2008, so had a little bit of good character. He wasn't as bland, as a babyface. He was pretty good, and I should have him cash in at SummerSlam 2008. I'm going to sacrifice the Great Khali again. We're not going to have Triple H versus Khali. We're actually going to have Triple H versus Jeff, so we're going to kind of start their feud early. Jeff looks like he's going to go for the win. Hits a twist of fate. Goes for the swanton. 1-2. Shelton pulls Jeff out the ring. Hits him with his briefcase. Cashes in and pins Triple H to win I believe at the time was the WWE Championship. And I would have Shelton, he could hold it until October, November. And Triple H can regain it back. All right, so now we're at 2009 WrestleMania 25. This one I'm going to keep the same. CM Punk wins, and he cashes in on Jeff Hardy. I forgot which pay-per-view. Was it Extreme Rules? Keep it all the same. The only thing I would change is have CM Punk not lose to Jeff Hardy, have him hold it all the way, defeat Jeff Hardy at SummerSlam. And, probably even have him defeat The Undertaker. Give him a longer reign, I think. But I think he definitely deserved it. The year before... it felt, he wasn't ready yet, but in 2009, he was definitely ready. So, CM Punk, a champion. And I feel like this will help Kane's reign because Kane's reign kind of dragged out. But if he, cashed in a little earlier, it ends earlier so it doesn't drag out to that awful Taker feud. So So 2010 obviously had the first Money in the Bank pay-per-view, and the SmackDown winner, I'd actually have Kofi Kingston. I know he won the WWE title 9 years later, but I thought in 2010 he definitely deserved it. He had that great feud with Randy Orton in 2009. I'd actually have Kane versus Rey Mysterio at SummerSlam 2010. Kane retains, Undertaker comes out, chokeslam, tombstone, leaves, and Kofi Kingston could come out and cash in on Kane. So, yeah. All right. We also have The Miz. He won the Raw Money in the Bank ladder match. I'll keep that the same. He originally also won in real life. The only thing I'll change is instead of cashing in the Raw after Survivor Series, I'd actually have him cash in on Survivor Series. So obviously we had Randy versus Wade, Cena's ref. I'd actually have Cena. Wade would somehow cheat. Cena doesn't see, and Cena actually counts 3. So Cena is free from the Nexus, I believe, if he counts the 3, and Wade's celebrating, and then he sees John Cena, and John Cena could attack Wade Barrett, right? So he gives Wade Barrett the AA on the announce table, throws him back in the ring, and that's when The Miz comes out. John Cena still has his special guest referee shirt in, and yeah, The Miz cashes in. Obviously, John Cena and The Miz, they don't really like each other, but John Cena hates the Nexus. So John Cena counts to 3. And yeah, it kind of builds up to their feud in 2011. All right. And speaking of 2011, we got, they stopped doing it at WrestleMania. So back to the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. I'd actually have Sheamus win in 2011. You know, I felt like he was starting to get over. He had a great feud with Mark Henry. So I would actually have Sheamus cash into the TLC 2011. I'd actually have Mark Henry retain. Big Show could kind of knock him out. Sheamus could come in and cash in on Mark Henry. And yeah, this will kind of build a feud between them. In 2012, Big Show could say, the only reason you're champ is because I won. And they had some great matches in 2012. And the other winner was Del Rio. I'm going to keep that the same. He cashed in at SummerSlam 2011. I'm also going to keep that the same. The only thing I'd have change is John Cena versus Rey Mysterio. I'm gonna have that on Raw. So Rey wins the title. Cena challenges him at SummerSlam 2011. And I'd actually have Del Rio kind of attack Cena when the ref's not looking. Hit someone like the Enziguri, and Rey retains. Rey doesn't know Del Rio helped him, and then after the match, Del Rio will cash in on Rey Mysterio. Yeah, and I know you're thinking about the whole CM Punk thing. I did a rebooking of CM Punk, the Pipe Bomb storyline. Check that out. So yeah, he's doing some other stuff on that show. All right, 2012, Dolph Ziggler. Got to keep that the same. He was definitely, his stock was rising that year. The only thing I would have changed is I'd have him cash in a little earlier because I want him in the WrestleMania match as world champion. So remember I was saying Sheamus and Big Show, they had the feud in 2012. This will be the same where, Big Show wins at Survivor Series 2012. Sheamus, he hits the Broad Kick. After the match, Ziggler comes in, cashes in. Ziggler wins. And he could hold it, till WrestleMania, actually. I'd have Jericho return, and obviously Ziggler defeated Jericho for him to get fired. So, yeah, we kind of continue that storyline afterwards. In 2012, we also got John Cena. To be honest, there was not much options looking at that match. You had Kane, Big Show, Jericho, and The Miz. I'd have Cena win. I'd actually have him cash in Night of Champions 2012 against CM Punk. And that's in his hometown. So hopefully, he's kind of hoping for hometown crowd to help him, win the match. That's actually where I'd have Paul Heyman reveal his partnership with CM Punk. And yeah, the first time Money in the Bank holder fails. And it's John Cena. The irony. Okay, 2013, I'd have Cody Rhodes actually win. I know Damian Sandow won. I would do it, have it the same. Cody gets knocked off the ladder by Sandow. He's about to win. But Cody gets back up, pushes Sandow off the ladder, and he actually wins. So they could kind of feud at SummerSlam. And I'll actually have him cash in at Battleground 2013. So have the same storyline. He gets fired. He has the tag team match, and him and Goldust win. So he gets his job back, and Goldust also gets a job. And he'll cash in on Del Rio. I believe he fought RVD that show, but yeah, he cashes in on Del Rio. And he gets the win. And it does make sense. They can feud after. Obviously, Del Rio's he's the money man. Nice cars, and Cody Rhodes, obviously, son of a plumber. So yeah, the feud builds itself up, and you could even have the unification between Randy and Cody Rhodes. And yeah, it saves us from the John Cena, Randy Orton overload. And you could even have Goldust kind of accidentally cost Cody the match, and that kind of begins their feud at WrestleMania 30. All right. And the other winner was Randy Orton, and I'd have keep it the same. He cashes in on Daniel Bryan. Obviously, kind of how the story played out after that, wasn't that great. So we definitely have to change that a bit. And yeah, it will end with Daniel Bryan regaining the title at WrestleMania 30. All right, 2014, Seth Rollins. Got to keep it the same. WrestleMania 31. Only difference I'd have is it'll be Brock versus Daniel Bryan. So when Rollins wins, he actually gets, heel heat for it. Because it was kind of funny how, he cashed in, and to an extent, his heel run was kind of done because he cashed in on Reigns. And, people started liking him. So I think if he cashed in on Bryan, it would still get the initial, shock pop. But I think, the heel heat would, continue for him. So, yeah. And, yeah, there was only one Money in the Bank that year. Interesting. Next year, 2015, Roman Reigns. He wins, and he cashes in on Survivor Series 2015. So at that Survivor Series, Rollins is injured. He's in the ring, and Triple H is like, I knew you couldn't get the job done. Roman Reigns comes out, and he says, I'm cashing in unless you hand that title. And Rollins hands him the title because he can't compete. And Roman Reigns becomes the corporate guy, and he faces Dean Ambrose at WrestleMania 32, where Dean Ambrose gets his revenge. So yeah, I think that'd be a great storyline. Definitely got to talk about WrestleMania 32 in the future. 2016, I'd actually have Kevin Owens win, and it could be the same thing. Finn Balor, he's injured on Raw. Kevin Owens comes out. He cashes in. And I don't know if Finn could take a bump. If he could, have Owens do the powerbomb. If not, just have Owens hit him with the chair or something. And he becomes the new Universal Champion. All right. 2017, I'd actually have Sami Zayn win. So in my road, AJ, he stays the champ. There's no Jinder Mahal reign. And yeah, we have Kevin Owens versus AJ Styles at Hell in a Cell. Kevin Owens gets the win at Hell in a Cell. Sami Zayn comes out, gets his revenge on his old friend. Yeah, so I think that'd be a great moment. And yeah, Sami Zayn, he definitely deserved the title reign long before this tribal chief bloodline stuff. So yeah. And then we also have the first women's Money in the Bank match. Carmella, yeah, I'll keep Carmella winning. And I'd actually have her cash in at WrestleMania 34 in the Charlotte Asuka match. And she would actually get pinned. Asuka would pin Carmella, so Asuka's streak stays alive, but also, Charlotte is kind of kept clean, so she's kind of the second person to fail Money in the Bank. All right, so we got 2018 Daniel Bryan. I'd actually have him win. He was in a match with Big Cass, so you could kind of scrap that or add both of them to the Money in the Bank. And I'd actually have him cash in the same way he won the title. He cashed in on SmackDown and hit AJ with the low blow to win, and start his eco-friendly WWE Championship reign. And then I would have Charlotte also win for the women's one. And I'd actually have Becky defeat Carmella in... So Carmella finds a way to win the women's championship. And Becky defeats Carmella. And Charlotte cashes in after. So I think this would be good because it's an actual... the way they did it at SummerSlam, Becky was supposed to be the heel and it didn't work. So hindsight being 2020, Charlotte cashes on her friend. She's the heel. Becky becomes, I think it works the same way. Becky becomes super over. And 2019, I'd have Bayley win SummerSlam. She would cash in. So it would be kind of the same thing. Trish versus Charlotte. I'd actually have that for the women's championship because I believe Bayley fought Amber Moon and that wasn't that good. So Trish versus Charlotte. And Charlotte gets the win. She's bragging. Bayley comes out. And she wins. And she gets to celebrate with Trish in a pretty cool moment. All right. And then, actually, Brock Lesnar, I'll keep that the same. I'd actually have Brock be advertised for the match. I think if he was advertised for the match, it'd be great. So, just keep Brock winning. Have him advertised for the match. But I'll have him actually cash in on Kofi on I believe it was the SmackDown premiere or something like that. So at least it kind of makes sense why he's getting a title shot, and that's when he beats Kofi. Obviously, I would have longer than 10 seconds, maybe like a 10-minute match, and Brock gets the win. All right. So we're into 2020. So this is the pandemic. I would actually have legit Money in the Bank ladder matches. I wasn't really a fan of the corporate in the office, climbing the corporate ladder thing. Wasn't really a big fan of that. Obviously, he had Baron Corbin throw Rey Mysterio and Aleister Black off the building, which is hilarious. I'd actually have Shayna win. And same thing happens. Becky gives her the belt, but this time Becky's a little more upset. Shayna's bragging. She says, doesn't matter, you can give it to me or I could choke you out. And obviously Becky's pregnant, so that's the thing there. So Shayna, she begins her dominant reign. She could feud with Asuka for a bit. And I should have AJ Styles win. So I'd actually have Drew versus Roman. The same thing that happened. Reigns gets the win. Reigns starts assaulting Drew. AJ comes out, hits the phenomenal form, gets the win, and it can start the chase of Drew trying to get the title back from AJ Styles. I'd actually have that match at WrestleMania rather than Drew and Bobby. All right, 2021, we got Asuka. I'd actually have her win. And, at SummerSlam it was obviously supposed to be Sasha and Bianca. I'd actually have Asuka come out instead. Again, they're about to shake hands. Asuka with the miss, so she turns. And she gets the quick win on Bianca Belair. I thought it'll make more sense rather than Becky, randomly appearing and getting a title shot. And Becky was too over to be a heel anyways. And and then we have Big E win. I'd actually have him cash in that night. So Bobby, he gets the belt from Drew after WrestleMania. He's beaten up on Kofi, and Big E comes out, makes the save, and he actually cashes in and wins. And he can celebrate with Kofi and Xavier Woods. 2022, we got Becky Lynch. So she wins, and I should have her cash in on Ronda. So obviously this is the feud we didn't get, but looking back at it now, we probably should have done it earlier because Ronda, her luster's kind of fallen. So Becky wins, cashes in on Ronda. Basically, does what Liv does the night of, and they can feud, throughout SummerSlam and probably end in like a Hell in a Cell match or something. And then I'd also have Drew McIntyre win. And I'd have him straight up cash in at Clash of the Champions. And yeah, I guess you could have the same finish, solo debut. So Drew actually fails, but I think it'd be cool. He's kind of doing what RVD's did, trying to cash in like in his home environment. So I think that'd be cool. And in 2023, so this year, I'm fine with Io Sky winning. I don't really know how I would book her winning, but I'm fine with her winning. And I think they should have went with LA Knight, to be honest with you. He's super over. This Damian Priest, Finn Balor thing, like, they could do this without the briefcase, So, I would have LA Knight win. And, yeah, it's kind of hard for me to really see how and when they'll book it, just because I'm not really sure the direction of WWE right now. But, I would actually have Io Sky win and LA Knight. So, yeah, guys, that is my rebooking of Money in the Bank. Let me know what you think. Appreciate the support. Look out for more videos, and peace.